Hi, good morning. Is it morning still? No, it's
No.
12:30. Okay, my name is Murray Laidlaw. My friends call me Murph. And today we're with a very special guest, Carol Gass from 97.3.
Hello.
Hello. So, what do we call it? A radio? So for 97.3, what is your position? Do you call it a radio host?
Oh, for the morning show?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I
morning
host
show.
the morning show. Yeah.
Host a morning show at
Yeah.
97.3.
We call ourselves jocks, but that's
Jocks.
just because we sucked at gym in high school.
Yeah.
So this now we get to say we're jocks.
Okay, so you got behind a microphone instead
Yeah.
of on the cord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, I know you, but I'd love to get to know you more.
Sure.
So might as well do it on camera right now with everybody else.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Carol Gass, let's start with where you're from. Like where you're born and raised.
Born and raised in Calgary, Alberta. Loved Calgary, Alberta growing up. It was just a terrific place to grow up. And funny thing though, a lot of people who know me now and who hear I'm from Calgary, they think that I was born on a farm, which I wasn't. Although as a kid, because I wanted a horse so bad, which was never going to happen because we lived in the city, my girlfriend Mary Jane McPhee and I would look through the classified ads at the time, and we would circle horses that we wanted to ride, and then we would hitchhike out to ride these horses. And so these people would be selling a horse, and we'd be like, oh yeah, and so we'd saddle the horse, we'd go for a ride, and then we'd say, well, we'll let you know, and we'd hitchhike home.
Smart. Yeah. Brilliant. I got to start doing that.
Yeah, you do.
So Calgary, I actually asked that question before we started rolling camera. Did you live on a ranch in Calgary?
Nope.
Or you lived downtown?
No,
Or in the
northwest.
city?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't really know Calgary that well.
It's in quadrants. Calgary is probably the easiest Canadian city to navigate. It's just quadrants.
Okay,
So simple.
nice. Then, so how'd you go from growing up in Calgary, jumping on other people's horses, pretending you're going to buy them, to having your own ranch, being in Prince George, being on the radio?
Well, we don't have long enough, I don't think, so I'll just sort of
Let's-
give you the key points.
Okay.
From Calgary, my parents divorced at a very young age. So I was the first on the block with divorced parents, which made me an angry young punk rocker and an anarchist. And so I left home and I went to Vancouver.
How
And I was very angry in
Yeah,
Vancouver
yeah.
and did a lot of very angry things. And anyway, I had a ton of jobs between the time that I was 9 and the time that I was, 30. And I started to kind of see that maybe I needed to pick something so that I could actually put some money away and actually, grow up. So you know nothing about that.
No, not
but
yet.
yeah,
I'm in no rush.
attaboy.
Thanks.
But anyway, so I thought, well, what do I want to do with my life? Because I'd done a ton of things. Like, what is that movie? Slumdog Millionaire? That's me. Like all of those experiences and all of those jobs that I've had made me sort of, very well rounded in UFI, if you will. So, but I've always loved music. And I'm
UFI?
useless information. Useless.
Oh, I see. Okay, now I got
Okay.
it. Now it's in there.
Okay.
Okay.
But I've always loved music, and I've always loved performing, and I've been in a ton of bands and that kind of stuff. So I thought, well, if I'm gonna do something that I want to do, a girlfriend of mine by the name of Sue Noble, and if Sue Noble ever sees this, Sue, I've been trying to track you down forever. She said, what about radio? And I thought, well, what about radio?
Good question, Sue.
Yeah, I went to BCIT, graduated top of my class,
In radio? What is the class?
radio broadcast.
Radio. Okay.
Yep.
Top of your
And-
class. Nice.
Yeah. It was funny because my father, who's an educator and always wanted us all to go to university, was kind of less than thrilled that I was going to college. And but I invited him to my convocation, and he was pissed off because I wore my cowboy hat. Yeah, exactly. But the guy on the stage, the convocation guy, whatever his deal is, he has to wear kind of a jester costume with a really funny hat. And so he looked at me and he said, nice hat. And I'm like, back at you. It was hilarious. But once I graduated, I got a job offer in Prince George. And
Nice.
so,
Straight to PG.
yeah,
With 97.3?
it wasn't that at that time, but yes.
Okay. What
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
was it then?
Wild
101?
Country, 620 CJCI.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
long time ago. And then here I am. And it's so affordable here, right? Like even still. And so I've always wanted property and I've always wanted horses. And boom, that happened.
Nice. When did you get your property?
We moved onto the property in May of 2013.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Probably good timing to buy it. I
We
assume.
paid too much for it, but
Did you?
yeah,
Okay,
it was
well,
great.
I'm sure it's worth a lot more now. Well, it's beautiful. I love it there.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Well, we can get back into that. Why I've been there and how do we know each other?
Mhm.
I'd love to tell that story too.
Yeah.
That's when I get to know you even more. So, can we go back to your music? When you got into music?
Hmm.
So when did you get into instruments and singing and all that?
My mother, who had 4 girls, and was the first on the block to be divorced, looked at me one day and she said, "You've got to find an extracurricular to do." And you know, sports, like seriously, I like to call myself a jock now because I sucked at sports. I wish. And she'd shoved me into curling at a young age. And she didn't give me any of the accoutrement to go curling. And so I had to wrap a plastic bag on my foot to slide down the ice. And I'm like, this is not for me. So she said, "What about Girl Guides?" I'm like, no. How about I learn to play guitar?
Ooh, that's a good one.
And she said, "Sure, that's fine." And so I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you fall in love with it?
What happened was my girlfriend, Lorene Grekel, also played guitar. And grade 6 camp was coming. And on the things, the checklist that they said to bring, some of the extra things that you could bring was a musical instrument if you played.
Nice.
So Lorene and I said, "Hey, let's practice so that we can play guitars at camp."
Cool.
But Lorene had learned to play chords and strumming. And my guitar teacher was this 170-year-old German man who taught me how to play, and I didn't know this at the time, but was teaching me how to play lead guitar.
Nice. The scales and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But, you know, grade 6, what are you going to do with lead guitar? I had no idea that the two of us would have, you know, accompanied each other really well. I didn't know how to apply it. So...
How to jam.
I didn't know
Yeah.
how.
Yeah.
So in 2 weeks, I taught myself how to play chords, and Lorene and I cobbled up 10 songs that we could strum and play
wow.
together.
An album.
Yes, we should have.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
I woke up in the morning and I played guitar before school. I came home at lunch and I vetoed lunch and I played guitar. I
Nice.
came home after school and I played guitar, and I played guitar before bed.
Oh,
My
wow.
fingers bled. I wanted to play guitar for grade 6 camp, and I did.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you have an album. Well, you could have an album.
Well, I have albums under my belt now,
Yes.
but no, at the time, no
Okay.
album.
Okay, well, I'd love to hear about some of these albums.
I don't necessarily believe in reincarnation,
Okay.
but I do wonder why certain people are drawn to certain things at a young age that they have no business being drawn to. I don't get that. I just saw a video of this 3-year-old drummer in the Russian orchestra, and he's great.
At 3 years old.
How does that
How
happen?
does that make sense?
He was playing drums at 1.
Wow. I do believe in reincarnation.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe that is an explanation for you.
That's why I got that tattoo. I don't
Infinity.
have very many tattoos, but a positive one here. I love my life right now. Nice daily affirmation with the infinity. Yeah. Side note.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah.
I have always been drawn to like the history of coal mining in the southern states and the Appalachias and all of that. I don't know why. Why would I be drawn to that? I have no idea. My family are from Nova Scotia, so maybe there's something there. I don't know. But I was always drawn to the banjo. I just loved that sound. So one day when I was, I don't know, 23 or I don't even know, I bought myself a Kmart banjo and I
Nice.
learned to play the banjo. And then I joined the Bluegrass and Heritage Society in Vancouver. And suddenly I was in bands and playing and having the time of my life.
That's amazing.
So, because life is so magical, I ended up in a band called the Bluegrass Princesses. and there was 3 women and 3 men. And we got together for the love of bluegrass music, and we started practicing a year before this contest that we knew about. And in the
A whole year.
contest,
Nice.
yeah, we were serious. We
Yeah.
wanted to win.
Nice.
And if you won, then you got to be a headliner at that festival the following year.
Oh, nice.
So we practiced our
Oh,
everything off, and we won.
nice.
Thank you. And there was a guy who came up to me after we had won and everything, and he gave me his name, he shook my hand, and he said, I was so impressed, that was amazing.
And you played banjo and sang?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And he said, I would love to produce your album.
Ooh.
And I'm like, this is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? And he says, no, not kidding. This would be terrific. And I said, well, listen, I'm only 1/6 of the band. Let me go find some other band members and he said, yeah, meet me here and we'll talk about it. So anyway, between the time that I talked with him and the time that I talked to my other bandmates, I'd seen him again, but I noticed he had one of those hospital bracelets on his arm. Like,
Uh-oh.
maybe he was day
They're-
tripping from
yeah.
the psych ward.
Oh, shoot. Oh, you're like, uh-oh. He's trying to pretend like he's somebody else. It's like, oh, no, it's too good to be true.
Well, it's kind of too good to
Yeah.
be true. I mean, certainly there was a lot of bands at that festival, and there was great bands. Why would they? You know, I didn't get it. But anyway, so I'm telling my band members, and we're killing ourselves laughing because I'm such an idiot and whatever. Anyway, so I just couldn't be rude to him, so I went to the time and place and whatever. 100% serious. He gave us $15,000, and we recorded and produced an album.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we did.
So he was just in the hospital because he hurt himself?
No, that was the festival
Oh.
pass.
Okay. So it seems kind of magical. Can we bring it to that question?
Absolutely was, yeah.
I was once on Carol Gass's podcast.
Yep.
And one of my favorite questions she had, you had a lot of great questions. The conversation just it flowed, so it was amazing. Anyways, the question was, do you believe in magic? So I'd like to return that question to you. Do you believe in magic?
I 100% believe in magic, absolutely. Because it's around us all the time, and I've certainly tapped into it. I can tell when there's magic happening because life is flawless, and I mean, not that there aren't challenges presented along the way, but you know, solutions happen so easily, and the right people sort of magically appear, and it's just like, holy mackerel, this is magic. And it's happened more than once in my life, so it wasn't just a fluke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree too, because I never used to believe in anything. I grew up in the heart in Prince George, northern BC. Didn't believe in anything, but then all the coincidences, the magic is what made me a believer. Nice, cool. Well, we have some magic in my life. You've been magic in my life since you asked me that question. I don't remember exactly what my response was, but I was excited about it. And then after that, first part of the little piece of magic for us was I had an opportunity because I was with Paramount. I still am with Paramount Plus on the commercial side. I'm the goat handler for Paramount Plus for multiple Paramount Plus commercials, and there will be more. We just got re-signed. Anyways, yeah, thanks. And then I have a buddy who's in 1923, the Yellowstone series.
Amazing.
And Jack Dutton. Daryl Mann, his name is. He's a Vancouver actor, former hockey player, former athlete as well.
Cool.
We have the same acting coach. And I'll try to make a long story short, but because I'm a Paramount Plus commercial actor, I really would love to get into the other side of
And
TV.
you will?
And I will, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So magic will happen there, and it's already happened, and you're a part of this. So I was talking with Jeff, and we work together all the time now.
We love Jeff.
Everybody
Everybody loves Jeff.
We want him on this side of the camera as well. We
Jeff,
want a
you
camera
really need
facing
to,
Jeff.
one time.
Yeah. The camera facing Jeff when he
Yes,
speaks.
Jeff.
So anyways, it was, we were talking, and my cousin Brandon, he's part of the Vision Collision when we do fun local commercials and videos. We're like, okay, we need footage of me at least jumping on a horse and riding away. Look like a cowboy could ride a horse, okay. Because I wanted to get into the cowboy side of things and the TV and film side of Paramount Plus and wherever else. And okay, well, we need a ranch, we need a horse. Oh, what? Jeff's like, oh, Carol Gass. Boom. So the magic happened. Then within minutes, you're like, yes, of course, of course. And we went out, and I felt like magic happened there too.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It was so good because my husband's horse, her real name's Reba, but I call her Moppet.
Yeah.
She's a big horse.
Yeah. she's
And
beautiful.
which is perfect for your
Yeah.
size. And it just sort of, with your guys and what you thought, and then I'd been thinking about it since Jeff texted me,
Yeah.
and so it just sort of, the storyline sort of maybe changed a little bit, but not a lot.
For the better.
And
It was great.
it was so
Yeah.
good, and it was in the fall, so the colors were all out. I mean, I don't know. When I
Beautiful
saw
piece
that, it
of
was
land.
just gorgeous. When I saw the final product, I was just like, oh, he gets the part. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
thank you. So we went from that idea, Jeff suggesting your name, the magic happened, we went and filmed, and it was better than all of us could have imagined. And then went to Vancouver for a commercial, but then met up with this agent that is part of the agency that hosts Darren Mann. So they have their end with TV and film, and the long story as short as possible, we filmed my little demo reel that proved that I could ride a horse. I look like a cowboy. That's why I'm wearing this hat today. And that I could talk. They heard my voice on video, so met with that agent, and she signed me. So this year I'll be auditioning for whatever comes my way through that agency. Yeah. So magic does happen.
Awesome. That is
Yeah,
awesome.
so I'm grateful. I have a commercial agent and a TV and film agent. But enough about me.
I'm so happy
You've been
for
magic in my
you.
life. So
That
thank
is
you.
really cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And then I was on, the first time we ever spoke.
Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah.
more magic.
Yeah, it was magic.
Yeah.
So my perspective is, pandemic hit. I was living downtown Vancouver, but then I moved home to Prince George. I always wanted to live off grid, so I started living off grid in this old cabin. And then I went into Canadian Tire one day, and I was single, but I went in to grab a shovel, and I forget exactly.
In your gum rubbers.
In my gumboots, yeah, yeah, which ended up being part of the character I still play. And walk into Canadian Tire, and I walked straight, and there was this female standing there. She had a mask on, but the aura, the vibe, the eyes, she wowed me. So I always told myself, if I ever got wowed by somebody, I'd have to go back and talk to them. So I walked and grabbed my shovel and whatever else I forget, and then I was walking back to the till, and in my mind I said, okay, if we cross paths, I will talk to her. And I was walking, and she just like walked right behind me. But at that same time, somebody walked in between us, so we were all 6 feet apart, so we were 12 feet apart. Went through the lineup. It's like, it's awkward to just start talking to her with our masks on and stuff. I'm like, I'll wait for her outside. So I paid, and I waited outside for about 10 seconds, and I felt just weird about it. So I just left. But then, long story short, I talked to a friend and told her the story. She said, post online about it. I'm like, hell yeah, PG. So I pull over, post online about this girl, misconnections, and the next day, a couple of radio stations, and you were one of them, asked me if I wanted to interview. So you interviewed me.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. You have lots of interviews, so that was cool. So thanks.
And that's how we met, and then it's just carried over. Like,
Yeah,
I'd know you anywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was that, and then was there anything in between that and your podcast?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. Well, thanks for having me on your podcast.
Of course, yeah.
So is that online? No, that was a phone call, on air, 97.3 interview, to your podcast, to the video we talked about with the horse, to then you hosting the morning news or whatever news on our
That's
hospice
right.
video.
That's right.
That was fun.
That was so fun.
You came in, and Jeff gave you some suggestions to say, and I'm like, say whatever comes to mind, and you already had it dialed. You're
Yeah.
so professional. Okay, rolling. Okay, we'll just practice one, and you nailed it, and we went with that take.
Which is
One-
funny.
One take. It was perfect.
Well, I've been a broadcaster for a long time, so yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
schooled for it.
That's right.
Yeah, nice.
I have a diploma, I
Yeah,
think.
diploma in broadcasting.
Yeah.
And then you came to Prince George.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was 100 years ago. That was
Yeah.
2001.
2001.
Yeah.
And then 12 years later, in 2013, if I remember correctly, you bought that beautiful piece of land.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
It is beautiful.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel really, really lucky. But, that's another piece of magic, actually,
Yeah,
Murph,
nice.
because another 100 years ago,
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend, Sue Noble. If you ever see this, please get in touch with me. But her, in a very weird circumstance, but we became quite quite close friends. And I'll never forget, we like to hike together. And we were hiking, I can't even remember, somewhere in the Lower Mainland, but we were hiking and we were trying to manifest what we wanted for the future. And I
love
said,
that.
it's true.
Yeah.
I said, I want to meet and fall in love with a big man.
Yeah.
I don't want no skinny little man. I want a big man. And I want to live on a ranch. And I want us to have horses, and I want us to love riding, and I want to have a dream job, and that is my life today.
You are living that.
It's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
to the,
T.
like, yeah. I mean,
That is
I've got my
magic.
dream job.
Yeah.
My husband is a big man.
Yeah.
We both ride horses and love our lives. We've got so much to be grateful for.
You really do.
Yeah.
On a ranch too, just outside of Prince George.
Yep.
I've never been out towards Vanderhoof and then taken that left. I've never been.
Oh.
Except for when they used to have OTL there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah, yeah,
never
yeah.
been that, whatever direction that is, east, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is
Wow.
beautiful.
Magic, magic, magic.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. Oh. Maybe we could do another piece of magic on your property or something. Maybe we could collaborate with another episode of, or another something with the horse or something.
Yes,
Do something cool.
absolutely.
If we could figure out a barter. Nice.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice.
I'm down for it.
And those fire extinguishers. So Carol gave us the horse. You were our horse consultant, you and your husband.
Yeah.
During that filming, and it was amazing. So for us, it was absolutely priceless.
Awesome.
And then this company I worked for before, my dad still works there. They gave us 2 fire extinguishers. So I went and asked and told them the story. Like, I'd love to. So yeah, they actually didn't charge me at all for those
Oh
fire
my
extinguishers.
God, that's so nice.
Yeah.
We have one in the barn and one
Nice.
downstairs because we've got wood heat. So
perfect.
yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I saw that little one you had in your barn.
Yeah.
Okay, they can use it replacement.
Which was what, 78 years old or something?
Something,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And now, how much time have we got? About halfway through, approximately?
Oh,
We're 22 minutes in.
22 minutes in. Okay. Well, now we have a list of questions. We'll get to know you more. So I want to talk more about your music career too. So you came to Prince George after you got your broadcasting. You played a bunch of music. You learned banjo. You got that album. They produced the album. And then where did that album go? And did you guys go on tour with the band or?
the Bluegrass Princesses, of course, crumpled and had a terrible meltdown and folded and everything else. But the mandolin player, Claude Bruyette, and his wife, Leola Adams, she played bass for a band that we cobbled together called Blue Coyote.
Okay.
So, and Blue Coyote made an album and played a bunch of different festivals and all that kind of stuff, which was super fun. Bluegrass music is amazing for a number of reasons, but one of the best things about bluegrass music is the harmonies that you get to sing with people. And I don't think that you can have a more intimate moment with people than singing with them.
Singing with them.
It's just, I've sung with people who I didn't even know their names, and I felt closer to them than some of the members of my own family.
I get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because and whether you believe, I don't know what your spirituality is, and it doesn't matter, and I am not a Christian person, but hymns are dear to my heart. And Blue Coyote sang hymns. I mean, I'm talking Blood of the Lamb hymns, and that's not my thing, but I love the harmonies. Like, I would sing a harmony any day. And same with Blue Coyote, we sang hymns as well, because that's part of the bluegrass world, right?
Okay.
So, and we loved it. I'm so out of practice today. Like, I'm so out of practice
Hard
today.
to find that time. I guess you
Well,
could make time.
I've moved on, right? Like,
Yeah.
and because bands break up and, those kinds of things are very wounding. And I
Yeah.
had no emotional intelligence at the time. And so, anyway, I left that and then now I ride horses all the time. But, it was an incredibly magical time in my life with some amazing people. I learned a ton about the world and myself and other people and lots of lessons. And When I first bought my banjo, it was Kmart banjo, might have cost me $125, I don't even remember.
Great investment.
It was. But when I started getting serious, and we got together and we were going to play this contest and try and win this contest,
Which
I
you did.
realized,
Yeah.
but I realized I needed a better banjo. And my banjo instructor at the time was hot on Deering banjo. They're out of California, Lemon Grove, California. And so I bought myself a Deering banjo. Now, I don't know how I paid for that Deering banjo because it was, $3,500 or
Ooh.
whatever it was at the time. It was really expensive at the time, for me anyway. And I loved that banjo. That banjo was amazing. Anyway, when I came to Prince George, of course I brought all my instruments with me and everything else. And there was a bluegrass scene here, largely led by a man named George Garbett, who has since passed away. But I was part of the bluegrass scene here. Anyway, we were living south of Prince George. About 40 minutes south in a mobile on a chunk of property with the most beautiful barn you've probably ever seen. But anyway, and one day I got home and I go into the house and you can tell that the house has been broken into.
Oh.
A great big boot print right on the door, and you can tell that they like jacked it open with a pry bar and everything else. And I go, and the first thing I did,
Banjo. Yeah.
well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't want to go in because I didn't know if they were still in there. Obviously not, because there was no vehicle in
Freaky.
the yard, but I was freaking out and whatever. And so I phoned my husband. He said, phone the police, and I phoned the police. And so anyway, I went in, and sure enough, my banjo had been taken. And which, I mean, I just cried. I just cried and cried and cried. And I mean, a lot of things were taken, including my grandmother's hat box with all of her jewelry and I mean, there was a lot of things gone, and some things are just irreplaceable. And my banjo, because I'm allergic to nickel, a lot of people have a dermatitis to nickel.
Okay.
So the armrest is made of nickel. And so some years before, I had my luthier friend, Shelley Park, who is a luthier today in Vancouver, make me an armrest for my banjo. And she made it with 10 pieces of different exotic woods.
Cool.
Very, very, very identifiable. Like, I'm talking, that's Carol's banjo. Like, you'd never say anything else. So anyway, it was all on file, and we settled with the insurance company and everything else.
Bought another banjo?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
And 3 years later, I'm working away one afternoon, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I get a call from a cop. And he says, Carol, did you have this banjo, this Deering banjo, blah, blah, blah? And I said, yes. And he says, well, I have it. We've done this bust, and I have this banjo. If you can prove that it's yours, come get it. And I said, well, I've got the Deering card that was issued with the serial number and everything, so I have that, so no problem. I can tell you the serial number right now, but you can tell because of the armrest. And I described it, and he goes, oh my God, it's yours, and
Wow.
come get it. So I got that
Yeah.
banjo back,
Wow.
and I have it today.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the one you bought with the insurance money.
Well, yeah, full.
Yeah. Can you get your favorite one back?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
That's a bit of magic too.
Oh, it was totally like crazy how that happened.
That is crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But friends of mine from the bluegrass world in Vancouver, they've come up touring, through some of the smaller communities in British Columbia, and they've let me know that they were going to be here in Prince George, and I put them on the radio and stuff. And I love bluegrass music, and I always will. I always will. And it's lovely to have those people come back into my life just every now and again. John Reichman was here with his band, the Blue Jays, one time, and they were playing, and I was happy to put them on. I mean, I don't know if you know who John Reichman is, but if you don't, go to YouTube and find out, because the guy he's a mandolin, John Reichman.
John Reichman.
And the Blue Jays, and he's just incredible. His mandolin playing, and he plays with some of the most skilled bluegrass players in the world.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you play much on 97.3 bluegrass?
No.
No. So bluegrass isn't part of country?
No. Not
Okay.
on commercial radio, it's not.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
Well, that's too bad.
It
Seems
is too
Yeah,
bad.
it seems like they fit well together.
You know, there's a real formula for radio, and it
Yeah.
makes sense, and it's what people want, even though they say, I play the same songs over and over. That's because that's what you want.
And they're
Um,
catchy, yeah,
We play the best of the best,
yeah,
so that's what you want.
yeah. fair enough.
You know, everybody thinks that they can be a programmer, but what has been proven and what works is a playlist, and that's what we follow because it's successful.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, in 2025, you've got all kinds of ways to get music. And, you know, I mean, I certainly stream a lot of bluegrass music in my own home because I like to listen to that. But I also like the country music that we play on Country 97 FM. And I like alternative country music, and I like blues. And the only kind of music, Murph, that I cannot listen to, can you guess?
Death metal? Because you can't understand. No? Although I love death metal, some death metal.
Sure,
There
me
is.
too. Yeah.
Can I guess? Rock and roll? No, you'd love rock and roll.
Love
You'd
rock and roll.
Of course. No, I can't guess.
Opera.
Opera.
I
Fair enough.
cannot stand that screeching. Now,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I 1000% know that they've got talent, those singers, because they absolutely do. I just don't like the screeching. Now, someone has suggested to me that if they were singing in English, I might like it better. Nope, don't like the screeching. And then someone else suggested that if I was at an opera, you know, the pomp and circumstance
The
of
energy,
the opera
yeah.
would be amazing. And that's probably true because live anything is amazing.
True.
I just don't like opera, and I'm never going to.
Okay, so you're never going to go?
I would go if someone bought me a ticket, but
Okay.
I'm not going to buy the ticket.
Okay.
But I used to be the operations manager for Laidlaw Transit in
Oh.
Vancouver,
Okay.
and we did school bus transportation. And before becoming operational manager, I was the safety officer. And as safety officer, one of my jobs was to hire people to drive the school bus. Now, on some of the school buses, we had what we called aides or care aides, and they would keep the kids calm, particularly the special needs kids, so the driver could drive, so that, you know, and that was part of
Safety
a
first.
contract, absolutely, part of the contract with the school board. So anyway, I was interviewing for these aides, and I got a call from a gal, and she said, I really need this job, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, why don't you come in and we'll do the interview? And she says, the only day I can come is Saturday. And I'm like, who does she think she is? But anyway.
Bring me in on a Saturday?
Yeah, but we needed the people. So I said, okay, well, I'll meet you at 2 o'clock on a Saturday. And so I did, and it was a beautiful summer day in Vancouver. Blue sky, hot, it was awesome. And so I'm driving, and because I took her out in the school bus to see how she would be in the school bus. And I'm driving, and we've got all the windows down, and she's telling me about herself. I've asked her to tell me about herself. And she ends up saying that she's an opera singer. And I'm like, really? Really? And she goes, yeah, I am. I'm like, prove it. Sing something.
Nice.
And this woman, I mean, I still can't say that I care for opera singing, but I mean, it's talent. It is talent. And
The way they project?
oh, and that's what was so funny. We're smoking down these streets in Vancouver, windows on a school bus open, and this opera music is, and we got people like, what's going on? Like, it was so cool. Like, it was cool. And she didn't get the job, I don't think. But
That's too bad. But
she could sing, though.
Hopefully she's still singing.
I have no idea.
Okay. I've only taken one singing class.
With
and
who?
There's a couple in Vancouver at an acting studio. They did it for voice work for actors to project, and they were teaching us to projection. So it was kind of like I felt like a fast forward to being a better singer, breathing properly, projecting out the top of my mouth and whatever. I loved it, but I forget their names.
Oh.
They were great. They were a couple. They hosted this class once a week or whatever. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it helped me because I love country music. I love rock and roll and country music. I
Yeah.
love to play guitar, and I love to sing. So it helped me
Wow.
project.
You'll have to come out, and we'll have to have a music night in the summer.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Okay, done and done.
Okay.
I'm gonna start practicing more and more. I find myself practicing, but I have to force myself to. But once it's out of the case, so I keep the guitar out of the case now, and it's one of my high traffic areas, so I can pick it up. But once I start playing, then I'm good. Okay, then I'll be into it for at least 20 minutes.
Do you know Mike Loreth?
Yeah.
Do you know his story?
Something how he started playing guitar every single day.
So he was following someone on Instagram, I think. I can't remember her name. But, and she was saying how she was going to write a song every day. And he's
Yeah.
like, holy mackerel, that's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty committed.
Yeah.
And so he had always wanted to really commit to playing guitar, but he hadn't. So he said, I am going to play guitar for an hour every day for 1 year.
Good for him.
It's been 5 years.
Oh, wow. He must be good now.
That's what I said. And he laughed and said, well, I guess it depends on what you think. But the point is, it changed him.
Yeah, definitely. Eh? Good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah. I got to reach out and jam with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause he's a friend of my brother's. They used to be in partnership at Sergeant O'Flaherty's back in the day.
He's a terrific
Yeah,
person.
he is a terrific person. We've
Yeah.
talked about playing guitar together.
Oh, well, you
Yeah,
should.
we should. Yeah, I got to reach out and play more
Let
guitar.
fear and common sense stand in the way.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember I saw a post last year sometime with all of his guitars. He's got a whole music room now and everything.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said, was there any drawbacks to this commitment? And he goes, yeah, there is. Now I have a collection of guitars. I'm like,
Good for him.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you think you'd ever find yourself singing on air, or do you? Because I love
I
your
sing
voice.
on air all the
Do you?
time. Yes.
Well, my mom would know that. She listens to you all the
Mm-hmm.
time. But I have to listen more. I got to wake up earlier. Speaking of waking up, what time do you wake up?
I'm up at 3:30.
3:30. What time are you on air?
6.
6. Okay. So 3:30
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
gives you enough time to drink your morning coffee.
Yeah, you
Okay.
gotta, wake up for the day and
Yeah.
mouth exercises and breathing exercises, and
Really?
I have to, deal with critters and get dressed and shower
Yeah.
and all that crazy stuff. And then the drive is about half an hour, give or take.
nice.
And then I've got show prep that has to be done and that kind of stuff. I mean, life is show prep. Don't get me wrong. That was one of the things I said when I met my husband. I said, I don't know what you're going to think, but if you're going to commit to me, you have to know that life is show prep. And he kind of looked at me, but now he knows exactly what that means. And yeah, nothing's secret.
Yeah. Show prep. So, can you run us through what show prep is?
Yeah, when you're on the radio, you talk a lot.
Yeah.
And so in 2025, local radio should be about local things that are happening and local people and all that kind of thing. And so, you need to do a lot of things and you need to talk to a lot of people and you need to think about what people are interested in. And, like today on the show, I talked a lot about the melting that's been going on because I don't know where you live, but a lot of people in Prince George right now, their basements have flooded or their basement suite has flooded. Or where we live in the country, there is a lot of water running and there's no place for it to go, so it's pooling like crazy. I mean, it's like the weather poses its own challenges in Prince George, but it affects people in a certain way. We have to post to social media every day and that kind of stuff. And lately, I haven't had a lot of success just in the past couple of weeks. And I think it's because people are still experiencing the holiday hangover. It's just like, leave me
Yeah.
alone. I don't want to do or say or eat anything.
Same. I'm in hibernation mode.
Exactly. But last night I had talked about, are you going to take a vacation? And that's what people are thinking about. Get me out of here. I'm done with the holidays now. Now I'm still staring down easy 2 months of winter. Like winter's coming back and we know that. So, they want to go. They want to get somewhere warm and lovely and that kind of stuff. So that took off and that makes sense. You have to kind of think about people.
Yeah. Okay. So, wow. Where would you go on a holiday if you were to go right now?
If I could go anywhere right now,
Yeah.
I want to go on this Scottish trek on horseback.
Scottish. Nice.
Yeah, I saw it online and I was like, oh, that would be amazing. Like, I think it's 10 days and you ride for like 8 hours a day and you visit different Scottish castles. And, I love Scotland. I'm Scottish. I have Scottish heritage. Obviously, Nova Scotia is New Scotland. And so I'd love to go and do it on horseback and that kind of stuff. And this trek just sounded amazing. Not that I can afford anything like that. So I will be riding my horse at home and pretending it's Scotland.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Scotland's the top of my list as well.
Is it?
Yeah, I have Scottish blood, and I love golf. So I'd love to go there on a golf trip.
I think golf is a waste of pasture.
Yeah.
But you
Fair
do you, man.
Yeah, when I was an athlete, life, I didn't realize at the time how important it was for myself and some people. 'Cause it's so healthy for you, and it kept me out of trouble.
That's
Yeah.
hard to believe, but okay.
Yeah, well, I'm rough around the edges a little bit, but good values. But yeah, it kept me focused on a sport, kept me healthy, and got me to university and college, and then university. Yeah. And
What did you take in university?
Prerequisites.
Prereq for what?
Yeah, no, my first year, I didn't really know. So I came in at 18, and I wouldn't have gone to university if it wasn't for college.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for volleyball.
Oh,
I
okay.
went to college first to focus on volleyball. And okay, what am I going to take? Well, wouldn't mind being a physiotherapist or a chiropractor or something. So
Wow.
I took sciences.
Yeah.
But I wish I knew there was two routes, like kinesiology or science. I went science, and I remember hating math, calculus, and chemistry, and labs, and lots of labs were on Fridays, and I'd have to redo the labs on Monday morning, which I hated after a volleyball weekend. So I did 1 year of science. Didn't have the best grades, still managed to be average, I think.
Good for you.
Thanks. And then my second year, I went into like more just arts and business and law stuff, pre-law stuff, and just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Then I transferred to University of Manitoba, and they asked me to, because I took some English courses and writing, and they asked me to be in honors English in University of Manitoba. Didn't even tell my parents about that one. Said it wasn't interested in trying harder for school. I'm like, I just wanted to go play pro. I just wanted to go to university, get an agent, and then go play pro. So after my fourth year at university, basically just taking prerequisites the whole time. I got an offer to play pro, so I didn't go back for my fifth year of eligibility. I just went and played pro for 5 years in Europe, which was amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, which brought me into volleyball. Into playing guitar. My first year overseas, I was playing online poker, and then after that year, I went home and I was staying with my parents for a bit here in Prince George.
Because you lost all your money in online poker.
Yeah. No, at that point, I had bankroll a little bit, but my mom went. I remember when my mom went to work one morning. I was up, made coffee or whatever, and then I went to go start playing poker when she went to work, for 8 in the morning. Then within no time, I don't even think I ate. Maybe breakfast. She was home from work, and I remember her driving in the driveway and thinking, "Wow, I just wasted my whole day on poker. I didn't work out. I didn't even eat healthy. Oh wow!" And then I cashed out and bought a guitar.
Oh, good.
Yeah, okay, then fell in love with country music more.
Yeah.
I loved rock and roll, but whatever I played and sang, my friends would laugh at me because made it sound country.
Oh, okay,
Even though I
yeah.
didn't mean to, so I naturally sang country style, I guess. So now I embrace my countryside. I didn't love that at first because I loved rock and roll, but then now I embrace the country and I love it.
You can love both.
I love both. Yeah. So I haven't really gotten much better in those last 20 years. I just kind of ride that, strumming.
Yeah.
I know some scales, sort of. Learning the cage system at the moment. So my goal is to get on stage this year. So I worked for Molson for years and
Yep.
did a lot of concerts and festivals and stuff. And I was the host a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I'd play and then intro the band and then play, intro a band, and just sneak my way in on stage. I love that.
Yep.
So I want to do more of that.
Yeah.
Maybe connect with Trench Brewing.
Yes.
Do some stuff there would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crossroads too has those big street festivals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was gone during that this year, but I heard it was a good time.
Good time.
Then-
Country and rock.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's my kind of festival.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, maybe one day the magic will happen where it'll be Carol Gass, 97, and Murray Laidlaw, or Murph, with my cowboy hat, singing some tunes, and there'll be some sort of festival going on or whatever.
You never know
Maybe
what's
there'll
going
be
to
multiple
happen.
Things.
That's why we get up every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's harder right now to get up for some
Tell
reason.
me.
Yeah. I hit snooze today. You were on air. I was sleeping.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I tried to get up 3 hours before our 1:30. So I got up 5 hours before our 1:30, but then I went back to bed.
If I kick you in the shin.
I'd be awake. Wouldn't blame you. Cool. Well, what else could we talk about? I would love to hear you sing, but we don't have a guitar. I can't put you on the spot.
Well, I also, so we sang, I was in bands for 10 or 12 years or whatever, but if you don't
Cool.
exercise the instrument, you lose it.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
no.
And although my speaking voice certainly is primed and ready to go, and I do exercises every morning on my way to work, but with singing, It's the same. So I used to sing like songs in the key of C and whatever, but I don't think I could hit those notes now
Huh.
because I haven't played for a really long time.
Really? Okay, I don't even know what key I sing in.
Oh,
Hopefully I match whatever song I'm trying to sing. I guess I should probably learn that, eh?
well, I mean, if you're gonna play with other people, it always helps if they say what key you're doing the song in.
You're like, oh, okay, I should probably know the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Easy enough.
Okay, well, I will learn that before, hopefully, learn it
You will.
before I come and jam. at your place. Maybe we could do a jam session. So with the little TV series we got going on,
Yep.
episode 1 on your ranch.
Yep.
So at the end of that, I end up walking through the bush
Yeah.
to save the damsel in distress, and then it snowed, so we couldn't make any more.
Right.
But maybe we could be episode 3 back on your ranch. I go save the damsel. Damsel? Is that the word?
Damsel.
Okay, damsel. And then come back, and then maybe we ride down by your lake there. Beautiful. Is that a river, or is that a wide river, or is that?
It's just a lake. I call it Lake
Cool.
Carroll.
Lake Carroll, yeah. Lake Carroll. Well, I'd love to be Lake Carroll side with fire, and we bring the damsel, and we show her a good time, and just roasting some food or something, and playing some music.
Yeah.
Then that could be the third scene. First scene, I learned how to prove that I look like a cowboy. I could ride a horse, and I can talk on camera. And then the fight scene, and then the third scene will be singing and longer dialogue.
You're gonna need a harmonica. For
Harmonica, okay.
sure.
Harmonica.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
the red thing you lent me.
Yeah,
What's-
neckerchief.
Neckerchief.
Yeah.
Okay. In the second scene, I got rid of that handkerchief or neckerchief.
Neckerchief. Yeah.
Okay, I get rid of that, so it's no longer. I'll give it back to you after that. You don't need it before then.
Nope. I've got
Yeah.
another one.
Okay, nice. It might be not until the snow's gone though.
Do you know, or I don't know if
I
you,
don't know,
like,
maybe.
I learned about a neckerchief from old cowboys.
Okay.
Actually, old cowboys wear neckerchiefs, just like you did
Yeah.
in that scene.
Yeah.
But they wear them, like, really, because it keeps you so warm.
Warm. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So now, like, I have incorporated that into, like, life on my farm. I wear a neckerchief all the time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. When I lived in Europe, handkerchiefs, scarves were a thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So when I moved back to Canada, I rock scarves.
Yeah.
Definitely, I love them.
It does. It
Yeah.
keeps you warm.
It does. It must keep you warm on horseback too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because I ride all year, and
Nice.
with a coach, but we're riding in an indoor arena, and her policy is we ride until -15. But, you know, I'm a freezing cold person. I'd prefer not to ride if it was like more than below 0.
Yeah, fair.
But you pay for the lessons and you're going. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that neckerchief has saved my butt. I'm not
Oh, I
kidding.
bet.
Yeah.
So you have a coach. What do you do with your coach?
My coach she's a rainer. She's a great coach. She's really, really very good. Her name is Nicole Clausen. And really, the stuff that we work on is good for overall horsemanship. I'd like to go to the BC Senior Games with my horse. This summer it's down in Nanaimo, and I'm not sure I can afford to take my horse on the ferry. But
Shoot.
next year it's Kelowna, I believe. So
No ferry. Yeah.
no ferry.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Is there little competitions or something?
Yeah, so I believe this year there's ranch riding and reining, and
Reining.
that's roping.
Roping? Okay. Yeah.
But reining is a bunch of different maneuvers that you do with your horse to show how in sync you are. Like it's
Like around a barrel and like
Nope.
stop? Nope. Okay.
no
Jumping?
nope,
Oh, sliding?
sliding.
Oh, sliding.
Yes.
Oh, like on Yellowstone. They do that sometimes.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, what's his name? Who did Yellowstone? What's his name?
Like the main, like
Yeah.
the director?
Yeah. Taylor Sheridan.
Okay, yeah.
He is actually, he breeds famous reining horses. Like
Really?
when those horses that you're seeing in that show, like the ones that are doing all those slides and spins and all
Yeah,
that kind of stuff,
yeah.
they're worth $500,000.
Wow.
Oh my God. Like those are real horses that he really trained that are really amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So real cowboys.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Definitely. It's pretty crazy.
Well, maybe I should start taking lessons too.
Well, you know, of course, with anything, I mean, as an actor, you've taken a boatload of acting classes, I
Yep.
can only imagine. And
Yep.
you were talking about a singing class one time
Yep.
to help with projection and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you decided that you wanted to get serious about guitar, like on a more serious level, then you would probably take guitar lessons,
Yeah.
you know, all that kind of stuff. Like learning from other people is the bomb, man. Like,
It really is.
Yeah.
Keeps you motivated too, keeps you going. And it's like going to the gym. If I don't have a partner, I'm not going to the gym. I might do 20 push-ups and a couple lunges.
I'm out.
Yeah, good. Okay, I got to pump. Flex in the mirror a little bit too. It's really important. My girlfriend works out 6 days a week, and she makes fun of me all the time how I flex 6 days a week. Arnold said that. Oh, it's part of the workout. You gotta do-
Yes.
Flexing is a workout.
And if Arnie said it, hello.
It's true, obviously.
Yeah. So no, it keeps me motivated, absolutely. And we are getting better. You can really
Yeah.
see yourself get better.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that once a week?
Yeah, and then
Hmm.
I ride with the Prince George Rodeo Association cattle sorters, and so we chase cows on Sundays at the Agriplex, and that's
Yeah.
super fun.
That would be fun.
It is fun.
So, what do you let them out and then go like wrangle them or something?
Sorting is an actual sport,
Okay.
and so what you do is you have a herd of 10 cows.
So you are an athlete. You are a jock.
I'd say Rudy, my horse, is the jock.
Okay.
I'm the pilot.
Okay.
But anyway, we've got a herd of 10 cows, and then you've got either a partner if it's 2-man or 2 partners if it's 3-man. And they call a number. So in the herd, let's say they call cow number 5. Someone goes and separates cow number 5 and pulls them out of the herd, which is hard to do because they're herd animals and they don't want to be separated. Dump him out the gate, and then the next person goes in and gets 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's a timed event.
So do you have to like cut it off, or do you rope it, or what do you do?
You have to cut it off. Your horse and
Okay.
you have to separate it from the herd with maneuvers to separate it from the
Fun.
herd. It's so fun, ridiculously fun.
So in the competition in Kelowna in a couple of years, will that be one of them?
No, I don't think cattle sorting's on the docket, but there is a BC team penning association and maybe a team sorting association. I'm not sure. Penning and sorting are close, but different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Penning and sorting. Okay. Cool. There's more than I know.
Isn't that true about the world,
Yeah,
Murph?
amen.
Isn't it? Like there's so many things you don't know.
So true, eh?
Yeah.
We just keep learning our lessons, and hopefully we'll never know it all, I guess.
No, but the more people you talk to and the more stuff you do, and you
Yeah.
learn a lot.
That's true.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, what else can we learn about you? And how much time do we have? About 8, 9, 10 minutes?
Yeah. Let's talk about, you know, what's happening in Prince George in the next 6 months. You work for the radios.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, good call.
Want to talk about that?
Sure, okay. Maybe any events or what's going on in PG? Any insight from
Sure.
your perspective? PG.
Okay.
Okay, sweet.
You want to ask me that, or you just
Sure, I
want me
guess
to
I-
launch?
I just asked you and launched to whatever comes to mind with whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, you know, the really great thing about Prince George is what a robust event town this is. Like, there's always something going on, always. I mean, if you look at the Prince George Cougars, Indigenous Night is next weekend, the 24th and 25th, and there are so many different things happening during that weekend. Like, it's just fantastic. And, you know, the jerseys have been designed by a local artist, and those are going to be up for auction and that kind of stuff. And, you know, just so many things within that. So lots of Cougars games, obviously, Spruce Kings. And obviously the Spruce Kings show home is on display right now, and they're
Nice.
raising money because that team is a community team, so they have to do fundraising, that kind of thing. So if you haven't bought your Spruce Kings ticket, go to the home and make sure that you get it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be on location for Country 97 FM on the 23rd, and when you buy a ticket during the time that I'm there, you will get your name in the draw for $500 worth of 50/50 tickets, which we'll draw for that
Ooh.
day.
Nice.
So yeah, there's lots going on there.
January 23rd,
It's a Thursday.
Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you know, at the CN Center, I cannot say enough about Glenn Mickelson, who
Glenn
brings in different events to the CN Center. Do you know him?
No, it's not, I would love to.
Yeah. You know what? You want magic around you. You should really meet Glenn. He is. When I talk about Glenn Mickelson, I talk about him with reverence. Same like with Jeff Grunding, same kind of
Yeah.
reverence. He's just a tremendous person. He's written, I believe now, it's 4 books on chuck wagon racing. He's also
oh, wow.
from Calgary.
Awesome.
And he doesn't chuck wagon race himself, but like So here's magic for you, Murph.
Okay.
When I first came to Prince George, I worked with, oh, come on, what's his name? I can see him. Al Seville, the voice of God. He had a bass voice and he was on the radio.
Cool.
Anyway, he called the chuck wagon races in Prince George. Anyway, he went to move with his wife to Kamloops, and he asked me if I wanted to call the races.
Cool.
Because I grew up next to Joe Carberry, the voice of the Chucks for the Calgary Stampede, and as a kid, we would play Calgary Stampede chuck wagon in the Crescent where I grew up, and I would call the races. So
Nice.
he knew that. So anyway, I ended up calling those races, and that's where I met my husband, who was a chuck wagon driver. And anyway, it's back to Glenn Mickelson, and we'll talk
Magic.
about his events, but that's the magic symmetry there, right? Like, it's just, Glenn has never done any chuck wagon racing, but he knows all the players that my husband knew, and so,
Very cool.
It's very cool.
We should have him on the show.
You should totally. Glenn Mickelson,
Glenn Mickelson. Okay.
I'll give you his number before
Please.
I go. He's mwah, he is that kind of guy. Anyway, he is responsible for bringing so many different events to Prince George. That's his job. And coming up, like there's the FMX World Tour that's coming up in February, I believe. And like, if you like the smell of exhaust, and a lot of people in Prince George do, I mean, it is amazing to see them backflip and front flip and like it's amazing.
It is
In the
amazing.
CN Center,
That's
really,
cool.
it's cool.
So they build the jumps in there and everything.
Everything.
Nice.
It's so cool. And then the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band,
Yeah.
after 60 years, are packing it in.
This is the last tour?
This is their farewell tour.
Wow.
And they'll be at the CN Center in May.
Okay.
And I mean, they've been here before, but the great thing about live shows is you never know what's going to happen. And this is their farewell tour. So I'd say if you're a big fan of NGDB, go.
Even
Right?
if you're not.
Yeah, well, good
Yeah.
point. Good point.
Let's go.
Yeah. And then, of course, FanCon's going to be at the CN Center in May. And there's just so many things that are coming. Crystal's coming. And that is a Cirque du Soleil show. Have you seen
yeah.
Cirque?
No, but Colin mentioned that. I've never seen it, no.
You've never seen Cirque.
I've seen the tents from the outside. Never been in them, no.
Cirque's amazing.
Huh,
And
okay.
Crystal's been here before. It's amazing. Like,
So you've
I'm
seen
using
it,
the word
obviously.
amazing a lot, but honest to God, it is fantastic. And really, their athleticism and their humor and the sets and everything, it's
Cool.
terrific.
We'll have to go.
Yeah, go.
Okay, I will.
It's
Thanks.
really good. So, you just go to ticketsnorth.ca and you'll see all the lists of the different things that are coming up. But there's so much great stuff, and wrestling and, I mean, honestly, if you're looking for something to do in Prince George, you have got no excuse. I'm bored. I've never been bored in my life.
I
I
don't
have
understand
never,
how people
honestly,
are bored. I even love it because I love my own time.
I've never been bored in my whole
Yeah,
life.
nice. Okay, I can say the same.
Yeah.
I've been lonely, I guess.
Yeah, lonely,
yeah.
but not bored.
Yeah.
There's
No.
so much to do any given time. Yeah, and if you have property and horses, there is a boatload to do. So
Always busy. And if you're awake from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m., is that when you're on till?
6 to 10, yeah.
6 to 10, you could always be entertained with 97.3 Carol
Absolutely.
Gas.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mom listens to you every single day.
Well, I love her.
Nice, thanks.
Yeah.
She loves you.
Yeah.
She always says, say hi to Carol for me.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, okay, I will. So
That's
Jude
cool.
Laidlaw says hi.
okay.
Nice.
An Evening of India is coming
Okay.
up. Now, this used to be Taste of India, which was a Rotary function, but it's morphed and changed. And it's going to be an Evening of India. It's happening in March, and it's a fundraiser for Spirit of the North Healthcare Foundation. And I'll tell you what, I've emceed it, I think, every year that it's been in existence. I mean,
Nice.
this is a different event, but same. And you got to go.
Okay.
There's a band playing at Evening of India. They're called Delhi to Dublin. Have you seen them?
No.
I'm not kidding when I say this is Indian music and Scottish music mixed for such an incredible dynamic. You'll never have danced like this ever. I promise. It is so much fun. They are amazing. Check them out on YouTube and tell me you don't want to go to this thing. You do.
Delhi to Dublin.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, and that's in March, you say?
Yeah, March.
Okay.
Yep. It'll be at the Civic Center. And it's everyone dresses up in Indian clothing and we eat Indian food. And who doesn't love Indian food? Oh, I love Indian
True
food.
that,
I
true
love
that.
it. Yeah.
So there's lots to do.
And there's lots to do.
Yeah.
Lots. Yeah.
And if there's not an event going on, you can go to a brewery. There's lots going on at the breweries, the microbreweries.
Oh yeah, like breweries and I mean climbing the cut banks
Yeah,
and
outdoor stuff.
I mean there's so
Fishing,
much.
camping,
Oh
hiking.
my God, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
I've been snowshoeing. I did a
Oh,
dumb
yeah.
thing. I bought myself a pair of snowshoes before Christmas, which I shouldn't have done because you're not supposed to buy yourself anything close to Christmas, but I did. And I've been a cross-country skier my whole life. I don't care if I ever see my cross-country skis again. This is awesome. Like snowshoeing is so fun.
Huh, more than cross-country skiing.
You can go anywhere,
Oh yeah, good point.
anywhere, and it doesn't matter what the conditions are like. I mean, with the snowshoes I have, I paid whatever it was, $100 or whatever, and it is so fun. And the workout,
The leg workout, the full body workout.
I'm going to have the juiciest bottom in all of Prince George in the next 4 months. I'm telling you what, it is incredible. Yeah.
Hopefully it keeps snowing.
Well, I don't like winter, but since we're here,
Fair enough, fair enough. I love it.
you love winter.
Yeah, yeah. I really
Why?
do. Yeah, good question. I love being at the cabin. I love this fresh snow. I love dressing for the weather and then being out in it and just not feeling cold. I grew up as a skier too, so I guess it's nostalgia, I guess.
That's fair.
The snow is, and the winter, and starting a fire in the cabin. Just the feeling of it gives you.
Yeah, yeah. I can
Multiple
see that.
reasons.
The aesthetic, yeah.
Yeah.
It's I love to be outside. I love to be outside, and when you dress for it, it's easy
Yeah.
to be outside.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah,
Amen. Amen to that. Cool.
yeah.
Well, what other questions? What are we about? Oh, we're overtime now?
Oh shit.
Oh, oh wow. Well, that was then we're done unless we have any more things we want to talk about. I feel like we could talk forever, but Carol. Well, thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Pleasure getting to know you. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
getting to know you more
Yeah.
and singing with you.